Hey, welcome back to the channel. I've got something really cool to show you today. So, if you saw the news that came out today on Monday the 17th, Anheuser-Busch put out a video talking about how great their history is and how American they are and how wonderful everything is, even though they completely had a very unforced error on their part. So, I've got something really cool to show you. Let's go take a look at it right now. Okay, so once again, I'm in southwest Oklahoma, and it's about 25-mile-an-hour winds, gusts up to 35. So I'm apologizing for the wind. I'm doing everything I can to mitigate that as much as possible. But right over here next to me, I have a very, very special thing to show you. So as you saw in that commercial, the Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales, you know, they showed off how great they are. I have actually got the secret location of where their retired Clydesdales go. So here, let's take a look. So these are what Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales looks like after they get done. As you can see, that one right there, they call that one Dylan. So that's Dylan, but as is apparent from their appearance, after working for Budweiser for so long, they lose all their size. They become the antithesis of actual Clydesdales. Like these are small now. I mean, something is wrong. And he's just like, yep. He's like, I know. That's right, Dylan. You're a mess. You're a mess, aren't you, Dylan? You're a funny little mess. I just wanted to show you a little behind the scenes of what the Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales look like after they stop being Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales. So once again, sorry for the wind, but hey, you know, if you drink Bud, you're gonna lose all of your manly stature. You could say they have been transformed into a different type of horse. I don't know, but something's up with it. All right, let's head down to the range and we'll talk about some other things going on with this. Okay, so now that we're down at the range, I'm hoping this my trees will block a little bit of the wind. We are having another super windy day down here, averaging 20 to 30 mile an hour winds right now. All right, I've got my mic tucked in a pocket with a sock on it, so I'm hoping that this will come through and not be terrible. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's talk about this Bud Light situation. All right. I want to bring up a few points that I think are pertinent here, at least in my opinion. And while we do this, we're also at the range, so we're going to check out a few things. All right, so the first big problem I think that I have, and the majority of people that probably think like me, all right, the situation is the kids. All right, this was an entirely unforced error on Bud Light's part. All right. They could have picked anybody else to do an advertisement with, but they picked somebody whose primary audience is teenagers, kids that have no business drinking, let alone changing their genders, all right? Let's just be real about it. So, when they put Dylan up as, I don't know, a spokesperson, whatever they're gonna call it, they pretty much signaled to all the people that have, at least in my opinion, common decency and a sense of morality, that they are attempting to push beer to children, and they're using somebody that pushes an idea that just because they might feel strange, which every kid does until they get older and figure out who they are, but encouraging them that, hey, the answer is change your gender. You don't feel right as a boy? It's not because you're a kid and you're just growing up. You need to be a girl now. Or you're a girl, you don't quite think you fit in with the other girls because they're mean. Guess what? All kids are mean. Just because all the other girls are mean to you doesn't mean that you need to be a boy now. All right? So, to me, that is the biggest issue. All right? Now, I hope my camera doesn't knock it down. All right, so while we're down at the range, let's check out my dueling tree I picked up. This is from Crate Tactical. All right, and we'll just run through a few shots on it. All right, here we go. Okay, so that was fun. It's always fun when you get to go out and shoot. All right, that's just all there is to it. Plus you're working on your skills. It's all good. We're also going to take a couple shots at some soda cans. All right. If you were one of the people that watched my previous Bud Light shooting video and you left a comment, I kept saying to people that the time to do that was over. All right, I got that case. It was the last one on the store shelf. They had not restocked yet. So I'm pretty confident that the one I got had come from before all the drama started. All right, so at this point, if you're wanting to make a statement and hurt the company, let them know the displeasure in it. All right, do not buy anything from them. So I got some sodas, and we're gonna try some Hornady Black. So we're gonna try some Hornady Black, and it's a 124 grain XTP. And we're gonna try, I've got 5 cans set up, and it's just the cheapest soda I could find. Let's see what happens with this. Let's take a shot and support the plan of not supporting Anheuser-Busch products until something changes and they make a legitimate apology, not running some horses across the screen and trying to make you feel sorry for them. All right, they messed up. This just needs to be a focused effort. Make a point, let other companies see that a point will be made, and it's time to stop letting this stuff slide. Okay, so we moved up, got a little closer. So here we go, let's give this a try and see what happens. All right, hope this one will be fun. See if we can get lined up. Alrighty, let's go see how that turned out. So it looks like we got 3 completely shattered and a hole in the 4th. So 5th one, nothing. Next point I wanted to make. To me, the whole idea of this is about making a point, all right? It is using Anheuser-Busch as an example, all right? At this point, we have let things slide for way too long. All right, there's too many people that are nice and just want to be left alone. All right, people like me. I just want to do what I want to do, and I don't hurt anybody. I'm not bothering anybody. And people I interact with, I try to be as nice as possible. I want to help people. I want to make anybody's day better after they have interacted with me, especially when I'm at work and things like that, okay? But we've reached a point where there's a certain group of people that won't just let you live your life on your own, okay? They want whatever they think to be forced upon you, all right? If you don't agree with them, then you have to be berated and ridiculed online, straight up canceled, all right? Sorry, I'm getting a little heated, but the point is that we've let things slide for too long. All right, people like me are just like, okay, the people I don't agree with, not a big deal. They can go do whatever they want, all right? We have let that fester and grow, and now it's an uncontrollable snowball that is pervasive right now. It is in every aspect of our lives, all right? Comic books, movies, TV shows, okay? Everything is pushing this agenda. Okay, there's nothing else you can call it. It is an agenda. Something is being put out there that goes against, my internal morality. All right, I have common decency. I don't want to, here's an example. I like guns. All right, I don't believe that a 3-year-old should be able to play with guns whenever they want. All right, that does not make sense. All right, how can you say that a child, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 15, a 17-year-old, how can you say that they know what is best for the rest of their life, and that is chopping stuff off, replacing things, I mean, people were not meant to function this way, all right? So I think this is just being done because we are at a point where this is a great time to take a stand. It upset enough people that we need to let these companies know, hey, you want to do something new? That's cool, do that. But do not do that at the expense of alienating every single loyal customer that you have had for years, for tens, dozens of years, okay? You cannot tell one group of people that has supported you forever, hey, I know you've given me a lot of money over the years and you're actually a big fan of mine, but we want to try this new thing, so screw off, we don't want you anymore. Hey, this new group, you don't really buy anything and all you do is make a bunch of noise and scream at people all the time, but we're going to cater to you and only you now. Does not make sense. So the point of this is to let all this built up tension, release it all on Anheuser-Busch Company, okay? They brought this on themselves. They could have completely avoided this, but I think if a good enough example is made of them, other companies in the future that are thinking about doing stuff like this might just stop and say, hey, remember what happened to Anheuser-Busch? Maybe it's not such a good idea to go around pushing this stuff, okay? People can do whatever they want in the privacy of their own home, okay? Do not bring children into it. That is like what we are asking for, okay? Why does it have to involve kids? I think a good example would be the state of the overall world right now, okay? In my opinion, I think the entire rest of the world is laughing at us as a country right now, okay? We are more concerned about people's feelings, letting criminals not be held responsible. There is no consequences for anything anymore. Like, you have to legitimately do an egregious crime with dozens of witnesses that are all filming it, and then you still might get let off because that's how we do things right now. All right? The rest of the world is literally laughing at us. All right? We need to get back to where we had discipline. Okay? People were held accountable for doing stupid things. All right? That is gone. But we can get back there. I think this might be the spark that lights the fire that gets us moving back in that direction. At least I hope it is. Fingers crossed, all right? Let's see if we can pull this off. Okay, and some people are going to say, well, what about the people that work for Anheuser-Busch? If this boycott or whatever actually does work and the company loses a lot of money, they're going to take that out on the low-level employees, aren't they? You know what? They probably will, because that's what companies do. But you know whose fault it is? The executives that let this happen and did not stand up and course correct quickly. All right, we're over 2 weeks into this now, and they have not made a legitimate, honest effort to make amends for what they did here. So, you know, some people may lose their job, and that truly sucks, but it is the executive's fault. They are the ones to blame. It is not all the people that are finally taking a stand, all right? How many companies have been canceled by the other side? How many people have been canceled by the other side? All right, they get away with it all the time. It's time for this side to take a stand and make a point right now. Okay, so as you can see, we're off here. We're gonna take another shot at 5 more cans. Whoops, 5 more cans. All right, this time we're gonna use some of this Sig Sauer, what do they call it? Their 124 grain V-Crown jacketed hollow point. See if we can bust more than 3 and put a hole in 1, all right? All right, here we go, loading up one. All right, and here we go. There we go. That one worked pretty good. All righty. Rock and roll, always fun. So, yeah, that is shattered. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Heck yeah. All right, so I got 2 more things about this. All right, first is this was an entirely avoidable unforced error on Bud Light's part, okay? If they wanted to, do something in this space, you know who they could have chosen? Blaire White, all right? She supports the Second Amendment. She speaks out against kids doing what she does, okay? That is the kind of transgender person that would probably go over a lot better with the Bud Light crowd, okay? This could have been avoided, but they went for the money grab by getting the hot thing right now. That was the problem, okay? I think if they went with somebody like Blaire White, it could have gone totally different. She would have done something really cool and been snarky and made it fun, all right? That would have been a fun little ad if they wanted to venture into this space, but they didn't do that. They went with somebody who targets children. That's wrong, okay? Last point I've kind of got on this, all right? These kids, I want you to think back to when you were young, all right? Your teenage years, your 5, 6, 7, 8, when you're growing up, all right? What did you want to do? You always wanted to please your parents. You did not want to make people unhappy, all right? If a parent is leading you to an answer you're supposed to give or they want you to give, you're going to try and say the thing that makes them happy, all right? If we got these parents pushing this stuff onto these kids, they are going to say whatever the parent wants to hear, all right? I am very, very worried that this is just going to be the latest fad, the latest cool thing to do. In a few years, what's going to be the next cool thing, okay? People are going to move on to the next thing. That is how people are, all right? What is going to happen to all of these kids that have their hormones completely messed up at this point, all right? What if they have surgeries, all right? And then it's not the cool thing to be trans anymore. They are stuck with their bodies messed up. Just because this stuff is being pushed so hard, like it is some great answer to being a kid, all right? You grow up and you have weird thoughts, okay? There is no reason to be pushing this so hard, all right? I am so worried for all of these kids right now. I can almost guarantee you that in the next 2 to 5 years maximum, I'm going to say it's closer to 2 years, this thing is going to fade away. There will be something else that's the new hotness, and all of the kids that are trying to get in on this right now, it's going to be bad for them, all right? That is the problem that people like me have with this, and we just want to make sure these kids can grow up, get to where they are an adult, they have some life experience, they know more about themselves, their own bodies, how their mind works, and they've solved problems as they've grown up and figured out how to work through situations. All right, once they get to that point, they're older, they're an adult, okay? They still feel this way. Go ahead, you do you, okay? Do whatever you want, but you do not have to force me to agree with what you're doing, all right? You want to change genders? Fine. Live your life. No problem with me. But if you get out there and then you want to tell me how to live my life because you changed the way you live your life, that does not work, all right? We have to get back to the place in our country where we had mutual respect for people. We had a sense of common decency. Like, people used to be good to each other. I remember that growing up. I do. And it is not here anymore. Why did we lose morality, common decency? These things mattered when I was growing up, and we need to make them matter again. Okay, so sorry we got all kind of a little heated. This is a very important topic, I think, that needs to be discussed more. I'm sure I'm going to get roasted by several people down in the comments on this video, but hey, as long as we can talk about it, we can disagree, all right? This side can talk to this side. You express your views, you express your views. Maybe the other side understands better. Maybe they don't change their mind, but as long as after that conversation, they still have respect for each other and treat each other like humans, we can go on about our lives, okay? But this evil thing where we have to attack and berate and scream at somebody that does not think the exact same that, we do, that is the problem. We need to get away from that. So we're gonna take a few more shots. I've got a couple rounds loaded up in a magazine here, and I just wanted to say thank you very much for all the new subscribers. I hope y'all stick around. I hope we have fun. This will probably be the last video on this kind of topic that I will make, but who knows? The future's up in the air. We never know what's coming, but I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, let's get a few more shots in. All right, here we go. Had one left. Okay. Woo! All right, that was a fun way to end it. I thank you for sticking with me through this video. I think this is something that needs to be talked about, okay? But talk about it. Don't get violent about it. Don't be disrespectful to people. We used to be able to have conversations and talk about differences and leave, if not as friends, at least respecting the other person as a human, okay? Let's get back to that point in this country. Let's rally around this. Use Anheuser-Busch as an example. We've got to stop letting this stuff slide. If you thought anything I said was decent or you agree with it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. I'm still trying to grow my channel. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So if you want to come along for this ride, go ahead, subscribe down below. Like the video, I'd really appreciate that. And drop any comments. Let's have more discussion. Let's just keep talking about this and working towards a good solution. All right, let's leave the kids out of it, get into a better place. All right, thank you for hanging out with me a little bit. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your time. Come back to see me later. Bye.